2 murders, and a countless amount of questions. Welcome back to Sweetwater Secrets. Hello, River Babes. I'm your host, Leanna Aguilera, and I'm saying hallelujah because our TV prayers have been answered with another episode of Riverdale. Now, this is your after show for episode 212, chapter 25, The Wicked and the Divine. And before I preach to you with my sermon of hisses and kisses, I'm going to confess the biggest headlines of the week in the blue and gold breakdown. All right, guys, first up, you're confusing the heck out of us, Archie. Now, apparently the official Lodge family internship is actually just Archie running around town doing Hiram's lowly errands. Now, when Archie wasn't dressing up as a snazzy server at Pop's, he was busy eavesdropping on Hiram's shady associates. At Veronica's confirmation, Archiekins assured his girl that he's very aware of her father's misdeeds, but he still chose to tell Hiram the truth about Papa Poutine. Now, the mobster was conveniently murdered later that night, but here's the real kicker. When it came time to offer up the evidence to the FBI agent, Archie stayed silent. Now, over on the south side, the pressure to find the decapitated head of General Pickens put the serpents in hot water with the cops. Luckily, the Cooper and Jones Detective Agency decided to take on the case.
Find the head, save the trailer park.
And the twosome discovered that Tallboy actually did the beheading. Turns out Hiram convinced Tallboy to do his dirty work for him, so Tallboy also brought in Penny Peabody in hopes of dethroning the Jones boys from the Serpent Throne. Nice try, you big oaf.
Accomplished nothing.
Lastly, Chick continues to be the worst influence on Betty and a source of chaos in the Cooper household. Not only was he inviting strangers into the Cooper household for job interviews, but he also showed Betty, a 16-year-old, how to chat with sex-crazed men online while being half-dressed herself.
I love talking to you.
I like talking to you too.
As if that wasn't bad enough, a mysterious man arrived on the Coopers' doorstep. Now, when Betty arrived home after a rendezvous with Jug, more on that later, she walked into a bloody surprise. Alright guys, now this episode was jam-packed with murders, but it also had some pretty killer romance moments, which takes us right into our 7 seconds in heaven. Now last week, I was worried that Veronica was becoming a little too shady, but it seems that V's commitment to God has caused me to see the light.
I don't want you to get hurt.
Now our raven-haired beauty spent most of the episode worried about Archie being dragged into her family drama. And at her confirmation celebration, Ronnie was this close to confessing her parents' ruthless plan, but was stopped by this swoon-worthy declaration.
Veronica, I love you. And there's nothing you could ever say that would change that.
Now all's well in Varchi land, and if you've been praying for Bughead to get back together, well then I've got good news for you.
I want all of you tonight.
While I'm thrilled that Betty and Jughead have happily reunited, I'm not too pleased with Betty keeping so many secrets, which leads us straight into this week's Hisses and Kisses. First up in Hisses, yeah, that first one is going straight to Betty Cooper for lying to Jughead about her clandestine kiss with Archie. What's going on, girl? Now, Juggy told you the whole uncomfortable truth about Tony, and Archie told Veronica about the smooch, but when you had 2 clear opportunities to confess, you chose to keep your lips sealed. Don't act surprised when this all blows up in your face, B. Another hiss is going straight to the web camera storyline. Now guys, I cannot stress how uncomfortable I was during that brief yet disturbing scene of 16-year-old Betty sitting in a bra and chatting with a stranger. Now let's get real, River Babes. Mental health is a serious issue, and the way that it's being sexualized is not okay. Now, I understand that Betty is struggling, and I really hope that we're going to get more answers on this subject, but the way that this dark storyline is being addressed is really disappointing, and I really hope that young fans are seeing that. Moving on, hisses to Tallboy for betraying the serpents, but biggest hisses of all go to the fact that Cheryl wasn't the one who decapitated the statue. That would have been epic. Hisses to Archie for confusing us with his allegiance. Who are you really working for, Red? And to Chick for continuing his streak for being the creepiest character on TV. Who comes out of a job interview in a bathrobe and drinking milk?
Milk was a bad choice.
And my final hiss is going to that musical moment at the confirmation. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. I love Josie and V's voices, but it just seemed a little forced.
Stop trying to make fetch happen.
And what was even weirder was the fact that had Josie not volunteered to duet, Veronica would have been singing solo as she sauntered down the aisle. But I'm not Catholic, so I don't know. Is that normal? Tell me in the comments. As for my kisses, I'm sending so many kisses to the happy romance moments between Varchi and Bughead. Now, it's nice getting to see the gang share some lighter moments in this crazy dark town. Kisses to FP for standing by his son, and to meeting Veronica's familia hermosa, especially her scene-stealing abuelita. Kisses to Hal for leaving. No one misses you, dude. And kisses to Alice Cooper for still looking fabulous, even when she's mopping up a murder scene. All right, guys, now that does it for my thoughts on this week's blessed episode. But right now, hit the comments and tell me your hisses and kisses. Now, what do you think of the Dark Betty storyline? Which character are you the most worried about right now? Was that a normal confirmation? And what are your thoughts on the latest Varchi and Bughead developments? Tell me! Also, please give this video a like, chat with me on Twitter about all your latest Riverdale theories, and don't forget to subscribe to ET's YouTube page so you never miss an episode of Sweetwater Secrets. Tune in next week to our preview episode of episode 213, chapter 26, The Telltale Heart, to see if your comment will be featured on the show. And until next time, River Babes, bye.